see a storm on the horizon. The pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening the gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road, guys. This is the Emergency Management Associates on the air here on YouTube. We're on the air wherever you are throughout North America and around the world. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, guys. My name is Ron Tyler. We're here on the air for you right now, 24/7, 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, especially between 4 and 5 p.m. We're coming on the air a little bit late because we have breaking news. But other than that, we come on the air between 4 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and at night or in the mornings or even on weekends, if there's a breaking story, as news that we need to tell you about, we'll be on there to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. That's what we're here for. That's what we've always done. Now, guys, we have information for you right now. Okay? Get ready, guys. This one's important. This one is for you, as they say. Okay? Now, what's going on? I want to lead off the story today, lead off our program with another information update on the Nancy Guthrie case. New information. New information. Let's hear from Nancy Guthrie herself.
Hi there. I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then, of worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her and most of all, just missing her. Just missing her. We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return, and we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pires and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
Okay, that was a message from Savannah Guthrie early this morning. She offered a $1 million family reward, up to $1 million family reward, and she and her family has already donated $500,000, $500,000 to the fund for missing and exploited children. Missing and exploited children, trying to help bring them home as well. Now, I have great feelings about this. Most of us do. But what I want to do is bring attention to what she's going through. Many other families have had this happen as well. It's a very sad issue. And it's a very, very sad issue. Unfortunately, because she was a celebrity. And I also believe because her mother was doing great work in exposing fraud. I believe her mother was kidnapped, and also her mother is not alive any longer. Why? Why do I say that? Number one, the manner in which she was kidnapped. As you've seen in the previous episodes of this program when we've talked about it, We've shown you Nancy Guthrie's doorstep with blood splotches all over the doorstep. Nancy Guthrie was bleeding profusely. An elderly woman bleeding. Now, guys, it doesn't take much violence to cause that kind of bloodshed. It just doesn't. Doesn't happen. But in this case, it did. Now, women and men, elderly people, elderly men and women will bleed extensively because their thin as skin, or their skin is thinner. Their skin is thinner, guys. That's why it happens. Okay? And she must have taken some kind of blows. She must have fought off the attackers or the attacker. Okay? In order for her to sustain wounds or she bled, she must have fought off some attackers. They hauled her out the front door. They hauled her out the front door. Now, as you've seen us in the past talking about this, okay? This primary suspect, we're going to name him suspect number 1, wearing this backpack. We showed you extensively in the past 3 weeks. Also, suspect number 1 also not carrying that backpack. Not carrying the backpack. Okay? Not carrying the backpack. That's one with. And then I'm going to show you this other one. In this case, there's one more suspect here. Notice the suspect at the top left of your screen here. There's another suspect. Just prior to this Nancy Guthrie kidnapping happened, a man several doors down attempted a burglary of a home. Attempted a burglary of a home. Guess what? He's also shown here. Now I'm going to show you another close-up picture of what he looks like. I want everybody to take a close look at him. I thought I already had this up on my notes here, my database, but apparently I did not put it on our software here. I'm doing that right now. This man right here. Okay? Here it shows him bending over because he doesn't want his body to be shown. This person also had a Ring camera. This is his hand in a glove, similar to one that was used at Nancy Guthrie's home. But here he's trying to shield himself from the camera. Trying to shield himself from the camera. Let me turn this on that side here. I want you to really see what's happening here. Okay, this is what it looks like if he would be standing up. The first shot you would see was what he looked like in the camera photo from the other Ring camera. I want to turn it on its side so you can get a good look at him. Remember this man. Remember this man. Now, a world-renowned artist sketched a picture a week or so ago. You see that's the picture of him in the bottom photograph. That's what she would say that he looks like. This was before this picture at the top was even shown. It matches. It matches. We have at least one suspect and possibly two here. One suspect and possibly two here. Why am I talking about it? Because this is day 24. 3 weeks later, we still don't have an arrest in this case. No, this case is not a cold case. There are still pictures floating around. There are still tips coming in. But I want to make sure we catch this dirtbag. I want to make sure we catch this dirtbag. Now, if you have any leads, if you have even seen either one of these gentlemen, or maybe it's just one, if you have leads on this case, call 1-800-CALL-FBI. 800-CALL-FBI. Now, let me put up the other tip line here as well. Okay? If you've seen these people, if you've seen any of these people or have any leads on this case, call 800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-800-225-5324, or call the Pima County Sheriff's Department non-emergency number at 520-351-4900. 4900. 520-351-4900. If you've seen this man, call the sheriff or the FBI and give him your lead. You can even do that anonymously. But Savannah Guthrie is right. We need to find and return her mother at whatever cost. We need to find these gentlemen, whoever it is, and bring them into custody. There has to be some retribution for what they've done. Okay? So if you have any information about Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, call 800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-225-5324, or the Pima County Sheriff's Department non-emergency number, 520-351-4900. We need this information coming out. We need this information coming out immediately. I know it's been 3 weeks. It's been a sad state of affairs of what's happened. Very sad a member of our community would have this happen. Savannah Guthrie and her family need her back. So call these numbers if you have any information on Nancy Guthrie's kidnappers. Okay? Now, on the story we covered extensively yesterday, the cartel trouble in Mexico. Cartel trouble in Mexico is still happening to some extent. It's not completely done. Mexican troops have taken back control over Mexico. But the CJNG, the Cartel Jalisco New Generation, is still alive and well. They lost their leader. They lost his son as well. He's in custody. He's in custody. I understand the cartel's upset. The cartels in Mexico have run roughshod all over the government of Mexico for years and years and years, as long as I can remember. But yesterday afternoon and evening, the cartel was driving down the roadways all over Mexico. shooting at civilian vehicles and killing people. Shooting at civilian vehicles and killing people. They were driving military-style vehicles as well. But that might not still be going on today. I haven't heard of anything like that going on today. But cars were reportedly burning, and at least one convenience store was targeted as well. Over in northern Baja California and Tijuana, just south of San Diego, residents crossed the border, the San Ysidro border, Sunday night into tomorrow, into yesterday. They were on edge. All their feelings, all of their nerves were on edge after reports of violence in their city, in Tijuana. Cars were reportedly burning. And like I said, at least one convenience store was targeted as well. Daniel Bracken said, I have to get home to my family. My wife and kids are there. We'll keep an eye on what happens down south of the border. People in Mexico were told to stay vigilant, as many stores were closed early and schools turned to online education on Monday. Experts said retaliation is one reason cities are seeing violence. Another reason is cartels are jockeying for power, just like I spoke about yesterday. The cartels are jockeying for power. When there's emptiness in one cartel, or something happens significantly to one cartel, another cartel comes in and tries to take its place. They're jockeying for power. Where did drugs come across the border? In California, it's Tijuana and Otay Mesa. The Tijuana and Otay Mesa border crossings. A man who is a crisis expert at the border, his name is Ron B. He said that's why you see it. They have representatives in TJ. So it makes sense that there would be some repercussions in TJ. It's happening. Now, I have more evidence. I have more evidence than this. I want to play a video now from NBC News in San Diego.
Many San Diegans and downtown businesses were looking forward to the promised.
I'm sorry, that's not it.
This is San Diego News Daily.
I'm Monica Dean. Let's get right into your top local stories. Hundreds of American tourists are left in limbo in major parts of Mexico after the Mexican army killed one of the country's most wanted cartel leaders on Sunday. Closer to home, a shelter-in-place advisory has now been expanded to include Tijuana. NBC7's Audra Stafford explains how San Diego police are responding to concerns about possible impacts here in San Diego.
Thousands of people commute to and from Tijuana every single day here at the San Ysidro port of entry, and things don't appear to be slowing down despite what's happening just south of the border. This is one of many car fires that erupted in nearly a dozen states across Mexico yesterday after the killing of cartel leader El Mencho. The chaos and destruction has stretched into Baja California, where several major highways connecting Tijuana, Mexicali, and Ensenada were blocked. The U.S. Embassy and consulates in Mexico say that although no airports have been closed, the roadblocks are affecting airline operations. And with most domestic and international flights canceled in both Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta, many Americans have been left stranded.
It is shocking. It's scary. You definitely need to pay attention to what advisories are out there and take safety as a top priority.
San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall talked about how his department is responding to the violence in Mexico and concerns it could spread into San Diego. People in Tijuana are being urged to stay inside and avoid areas with law enforcement activity, and the U.S. consulate there has suspended all routine services for U.S. citizens. From San Ysidro, I'm Audra Stafford, NBC7.
Okay, that's that report. I have more information. Yesterday, President Trump said that he was prepared to send in U.S. military to assist the Mexican troops. Okay, All throughout last year, like I had explained yesterday, all last year, President Trump said he was going to send in troops if necessary to take out the drug cartels. Yes, there are already troops on the ground in Mexico. But yesterday, President Trump reiterated his promise to consider to help Mexico. He proposes an intervention. President Trump has expressed willingness to send U.S. forces, including Special Operations Troops or CIA agents, to Mexico to take direct action against cartels. His administration is designated as foreign terrorist organizations. The Trump administration has designated those drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has repeatedly denied reports U.S. troops will enter Mexican territory. Last November, she said such intervention is not going to happen. She emphasized that while the countries can cooperate, Mexican territory and sovereignty are in violation. Can't happen. Despite rejection, President Trump has continued his press for action, and reports indicated he has threatened unilateral U.S. military action or economic tariffs if Mexico fails to sufficiently dismantle the cartels. Now, while an on-ground invasion has been rejected by President Sheinbaum in Mexico, the United States has intensified pressure to allow joint operations and increased surveillance, with reports of U.S. drone flights over Mexico to track fentanyl labs. Following high-profile violent clashes between Mexican forces and cartels in February this year, Trump reiterated demands that Mexico step up its efforts. Now, while some U.S. officials previously suggested that legal, unilateral action could be taken based on a national self-defense against drug trafficking, the official public stance of the Mexican government remains firm against unauthorized foreign intervention. That's the story here. Now, at about 1900 hours, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, President Trump is supposed to be coming on the air with his annual State of the Union message. I await eagerly that message. We'll be watching it with you. But as I said, we're going to watch it with anticipation of what President Trump is going to do with Mexico, with drug cartels, because some of the violence has also spread into Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and California. So we'll see what happens. No, this has not been huge violent actions. It hasn't been. But there have been some violent actions here in our country, near the border. We want to stop that. My conversations with people in San Diego, including the police, say that they've had some small skirmishes, but they are right now in position to squash those skirmishes and keep them from spreading. Okay, that's a story. Now, there's more information. I want to now get into talking about earthquakes worldwide, and especially in California. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about one earthquake in Louisiana today. Yes, an earthquake in Louisiana today, guys. Okay, the southern part of the Pneumatic Fault. Before we do that, let's talk about the other earthquakes around the world. Then we'll talk about Louisiana as well. Okay? Now, I'm going to take down the EMA banner. I'm going to take down our webcam as well. I want you to see what's going on. This picture, this slide, is what we consider the Pacific Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire meaning volcanoes all over the outside of the ring. From southern Mexico and over in New Zealand and even down in Antarctica, volcanoes. There's a reason it's called the Ring of Fire. There's a reason it's called the Ring of Fire. Volcanoes. But again, with volcanoes, we have subduction, earthquakes. Subduction earthquakes. That's what happens. Tonight, let's start down here north of New Zealand in the Kermadec Islands. The Kermadec Islands just north of New Zealand here belong to New Zealand. These are unoccupied islands except for birds. The Kermadec Islands are a bird sanctuary here. We have a large earthquake here, 5.0 large earthquake here in the Kermadec Islands. This is 144 miles deep. 144 miles deep. This is still a shallow earthquake. Shallow earthquake here. 5.0 large earthquake down here in the Kermadec Islands belonging to New Zealand. Going north. Okay. East, southeast of Pangai Tonga. Pangai Tonga here. Look at this. This is a moderate earthquake here on the Tonga Trench. The Tonga Trench. Again, it's on the edge of the plate. The Tonga Trench goes all the way from the Samoa Tonga region all the way down here into New Zealand. All the way down here to the south in New Zealand. Off the east coast of North Island. Then just past the North Island, down here in the north part of the southern island. It crosses the island to the western part of the island. Then it continues to fall down through the southern part of the island out here into the southern Pacific Ocean. Comes down here. Now, on Sunday, we had a 5.8 earthquake right here, south of New Zealand. Large 5.8, very large earthquake here, south of New Zealand, a 5.8 earthquake. That happens. Again, this is part of the Tonga Trench. Okay? It's going to happen. Now look here in Fiji. They're not showing any earthquakes here in Fiji. Neither the earthquake in the Kermadec Islands or this one over here, Pangai Tonga, affected anyone on land. Both of these earthquakes are far enough away from any island, there was no property damage at all. Nobody even felt these earthquakes. Kermadec Islands, like I said, is a bird sanctuary. No human lives there. But I still think this earthquake did not hit on the island itself. There's all kinds of islands in the Kermadec chain here. Okay? Nobody was affected by these earthquakes. USGS is not showing any other earthquakes here, either in the Legacy Islands down here to the south, or over here in the Vanuatu region, or the Solomon Islands. For that matter, Australia. Rarely do they ever show any earthquakes in Australia. Over here in Papua New Guinea, they're not showing anything either. But here in Papua, Indonesia, we have one earthquake here. This is a mid-range 5.5. Mid-range 5.5 large earthquake. This is 127 miles west-northwest of Aveyah, Indonesia. On land. On land. Large earthquakes such as this cause aftershocks. Yet USGS is not showing any aftershocks either. This is also 6.6 miles deep, just over 10 kilometers deep, near Aveyah, Indonesia here, on land. Now I also, as I've said before in other and other programs such as this, where we talk about earthquakes over here in Indonesia or Papua New Guinea. The people who live in this region don't have much money at all. Some of them make it a very minimum of about $300 a year. They subsist on any plants that they grow or from fish in the sea or the river. Rivers that flow through this region. Anybody that was within any eye shot, even anybody within any tiny home or tiny towns or cities here felt this earthquake. This is a big enough earthquake where anybody in this area could have felt it. A very large 5.5 earthquake here. Okay. This earthquake did damage anybody that's living here. Now, right now, we do not have any reports of damage because this is such an isolated area. But I can tell you this, there are people living here, and they were definitely affected by this earthquake. Literally all over the north side of Papua, Indonesia, and I believe because of the strength of this quake, most people here in Papua, Indonesia felt this quake to some point or another. There's going to be damage and maybe fatalities and injuries here because of this quake in Papua, Indonesia today. Okay? Now notice this. The United States Geological Survey is not showing any earthquakes here in Indonesia at all. There are 52 earthquakes here in Indonesia total here. 52 earthquakes. These earthquakes are of 2.5 minor earthquakes, 3.0, 3.9 small earthquakes, and 4.0, 4.9 moderate earthquakes. The USGS likes to call light earthquakes. Okay? But they're not showing any earthquakes at all. That's very sad. Because again, like Papua Indonesia or Papua New Guinea, there are people who live here in Indonesia that hardly make any money. Yet in the larger towns, there are people that do make money. But the people that don't are living in squalor. When a large earthquake like this pops over, or any earthquakes at all, there are repercussions from the earthquakes. Property damage, people that possibly injured, or even fatalities. USGS is not showing any earthquakes at all. That's sad. Going over here to the southwest side of the Philippines. We've had a lot of earthquakes here as of recent days and even the last week or so. Up to and including a 5.8 earthquake here. Just about 2.5 weeks ago. Today, this is a 4.6 motor earthquake. 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. Again, this is offshore from Mindanao, Philippines. Mindanao, Philippines is this large island, the largest island in the Philippine chain. A lot of people live here, especially in Davao City, the capital of the island. But in this case, this earthquake did not harm anybody. There are other earthquakes on the east side of the island as well. But heaven forbid USGS tells us anything about it. Other earthquakes here in central Philippines and up here in the north on Luzon, Philippines as well. But they're not talking. Let's go over here to Taiwan. Just barely off the northeast shores of Taiwan here. We have another moderate 4.6 earthquake here. Also 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. Offshore, 4.6 earthquake. This is 12 miles offshore. I don't think anybody on Taiwan felt this earthquake or had any damage. Moderate earthquakes such as this, the seismic energy is absorbed by the Pacific, or not the Pacific, but the East Taiwanese Strait waters here. I don't think anybody felt this earthquake at all. Let's go up north to Japan. We have earthquakes over here in Japan we need to talk about. Okay? They've taken one earthquake down, I can already see here. There was an earthquake off the southeast coast of Japan. It was a 4.2 earthquake here off the coast. Far enough off the coast of the ocean waters of the Pacific Ocean absorbs shockwaves from this quake. But over here on the west side of Japan, over here on the peninsula here, the southern peninsula here, this is a 4.8 moderate earthquake here. 4.8 moderate earthquake here. Now, 2 years ago, on the north part of this peninsula, we had a 7.4 earthquake here. We had people that were unalived here by that earthquake. We had people that were very much injured. Over 300 people injured and nearly 300 people unalived. This earthquake did little but anything but minor damage. Minor damage here in this area. 4.8 earthquake, which is just 2 points less than a large earthquake. Okay? But anywhere here on this island here near this earthquake, they felt it. This was just barely offshore, so some parts of Japan felt this earthquake. This did not cause any damage at all. But people did feel this earthquake here, close enough to shore. Now there's another earthquake here I want to talk about. Up here in North Honshu, Japan. North Honshu, Japan here. This is south of Miyako, Japan. This is another 4.8 earthquake here. 4.8 earthquake here. North Honshu, Japan. South of Miyako. This is a 4.6. 4.6 causes moderate damage. 4.6 moderate earthquakes cause moderate damage here. They're towns. They're towns and people living over here in the mountains regions here. People felt this earthquake. No, it did not do a lot of damage. For the most part, Japan has done a great job of instructing its people, putting rules and regulations in place for building. When an earthquake like this happens, there's very little or any kind of damage. All that can happen maybe would be pictures of plaques falling off the walls, knickknacks and even books falling off of shelves. That's about the extent of it. Or say someone has any dishes or plates or glasses in cupboards. Those things rattle around as well. But look here. This is in the mountainous region. Fortunately, over here on the western or the eastern side of Miyako Bay. Yes, people live in this region. But because it was a moderate earthquake, I don't think there's any kind of damage at all. Maybe books, knickknacks falling off the shelves, or pictures and such falling off the walls. That's about it. Again, Japan missed the big one. Could have been much worse. They've had much worse earthquakes here in Japan before. Let's go over here in the Kuril Islands, south of Kamchatka Peninsula, between Kamchatka and Hokkaido, Japan. No earthquakes here, but one earthquake off the north or southeast shore of Kamchatka Peninsula. This is a large 4.9, 5.0 earthquake. You might wonder why I call it a large earthquake. 4.9 put down by USGS tells me that they're part of the 0.9 society still. They downgrade earthquakes to the less extent as possible. It's called the 0.9 Society. This is probably a 5.0 large earthquake, but because it was offshore on this fault line, nobody felt this earthquake. But remember this fault line? We talked about it in the past. This fault line coming out of Japan means these earthquakes go up here to the Aleutian Island fault zone, the edge of the plate again. This earthquake here is on the edge of the plate. The seismic energy is going to go over here into the Aleutian Island fault zone, another edge of the plate here. We're talking about the tectonic plate region. The tectonic plate region here. Now, you see earthquakes over here near Alaska. Just tiny tremors here. This earthquake here is a 0.9, 1.0 tremor. 0.9 microquake, 1.0 tremor here. Just to the southeast, this is a 2.3 minor earthquake here, out in the water. Minor earthquakes can never be felt by almost anyone, except maybe 2.8 or 2.9 by very sensitive people. But this is out in the ocean. Nobody felt this earthquake. Further out to the east here, this is a 4.1 moderate earthquake. 22 miles east-southeast of Alaska. Again, 4.1 moderate earthquake. Yes, it was on an island here. For the most part, all of these islands here are unoccupied, uninhabited. Very cold and windy out here. Nobody's here. Nobody felt this earthquake. 4.1 earthquake, 40.8 kilometers deep, 40.8 miles deep, 41 miles deep, basically. Okay, here in the Aleutian Island Fault. Out here further to the east, this is a little bit different story. Look at this earthquake swarm. Why are we having this earthquake swarm? We had a large earthquake here yesterday. Yesterday we had a large earthquake. This swarm is a result of aftershocks. Aftershocks, where the earth itself is trying to get back to where it was before the earthquake. This earthquake here is a 4.4 moderate earthquake. Most all of these other earthquake aftershocks are less than that. This is a new earthquake, a 2.1 minor earthquake. This is a 2.8. This is a 4.2. This earthquake here is a 3.1 small earthquake. This is a 3.4 small earthquake. This is a 2.4 earthquake here, minor earthquake. This is a 2.7. Further down here to the south and west is a 2.5. This is a 2.8 earthquake here. Over here in the northeast, this is a 2.7. All these earthquakes are aftershocks of a large earthquake here that was here yesterday. That's why we're having earthquakes here. All of these earthquakes are approximately 44 miles south of Nikolsky, Alaska, where we had the large earthquake yesterday. Okay? Over here in Alaska, going further to the east, in the ocean, the Pacific Ocean here, south of the peninsula here, this is a 2.8 earthquake. South of Sandpoint, Alaska. Where have we heard Sandpoint, Alaska before? Sandpoint, Alaska is here where we had a 7.4 earthquake here about a year and a half ago. 7.4 major earthquake here a year and a half ago. Further up here to the northeast, this is a 2.2 near Perryville, Alaska. Perryville, Alaska, we've heard of that name before as well. Guys, this earthquake here is an aftershock of several major earthquakes that happened here over 2 years ago. We had a 7.2, a 7.4, a 7.8, and an 8.7 earthquake here just over 2 years ago. Major earthquakes here. This area is still having aftershocks. This is the 3.2 earthquake south of Perryville, Alaska here. We're going to see earthquakes here for a very long time. Anytime you have a major earthquake as that, these aftershocks will last months and even years afterwards. This is an aftershock of that earthquake. Further north here in the Alaska Peninsula here, we have a minor tremor here, 1.8 tremor here. This is west of Karluk, Alaska. Karluk, Alaska. What do we have right here? You see a volcano here, guys. Old Iliamna Lama volcanoes here. We have an earthquake south of Old Iliamna Lama on the southern part of the mountain. The 0.7 microquake. Up here to the north, this is a 0.2 microquake as well. Old Iliamna Lama is still stirring. All the volcanoes around the world are moving. They're recharging. They're recharging, guys. This is happening. Over here, Kodiak Island. We have a 2.0 minor earthquake off of the northwest shore of Kodiak Island. 2.0 minor earthquake, 22 miles deep. Going north here in the Cook Inlet here. This is a minus 0.1 microquake. Minus 0.1 microquake at a volcano. Go figure. At a volcano. 0.1 microquake. This just barely 0.1, 1/10 of a mile deep. 1/10 of a mile deep. This is above sea level here at a volcano. To the north here, this is a 2.4 earthquake here on the shoreline near Pedro Bay. 2.4 minor earthquake here near the shoreline here near Pedro Bay. We go north here and west. Guess what? Now we are south of another volcano, south of Mount Redoubt volcano. This is a 2.3 earthquake. Over here to the west, this is a 2.4 earthquake, minor earthquake, both of them, south of Mount Redoubt. South of Mount Redoubt. Up here to the north, this is a 2.5, 37 miles west of Tyonek, Alaska. Up here to the north as well. A earthquake that USGS doesn't even say how strong it was. This earthquake was 45 miles deep. 45 miles deep. USGS is still not identifying how strong this earthquake is. That's a first. That's a first. Up here further north, a 2.0 earthquake here, 29 miles north-northwest of Beluga, Alaska. We go over here to the south. 1.5 tremor near Point Possession, Alaska. Near Point Possession, Alaska. Further to the northeast, 2.3 earthquake here. This happens to be 11 miles east-southeast of Point Possession. Just south of Anchorage, we have an earthquake that just happened. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake here. 11 miles southwest of Anchorage, Alaska. Unreal. Further north here, going up towards Denali, Alaska. This is a 2.0 earthquake here. near Sucetin, Alaska. West-northwest of Sucetin, Alaska. This is a 1.92.0. 7 miles south of Trapper Creek, Alaska. To the north, 2.0 earthquake here. 3 miles west of Chase, Alaska. 3 miles west of Chase, Alaska. And I believe, folks, this is close to 8 miles north of Talkeetna, Alaska. 8 miles north of Talkeetna, Alaska, the largest town here. Let's go up here to Denali, Alaska. On the southwestern side of Denali, Alaska here. The southwest side of Denali, Alaska here. This is a 1.7 tremor here. Going further north of Mount McKinley. This is a 2.0 earthquake here. 2.0 earthquake here. This is in Denali, Alaska. Look where it's at. Look where it's at, guys. You know what USGS says this is? Yes, they say it's a 2.0 earthquake, but they're saying this is southeast of Denali, Alaska. How's that possible? It is in Denali, Alaska. It's not southeast of anywhere. It's in Denali, Alaska. To the north, right here. This is the 1.6 earthquake over here in northern Denali, Alaska. Yes, there are earthquakes north of here. This earthquake here, 2.6 near Tanana, Alaska. Guess what? This is 55 miles southwest of Tanana Volcano. Tanana Volcano, there are about 65 volcanoes in Alaska. This is southwest of Tanana Volcano. Right here. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake. 11 miles northwest of Anderson, Alaska. 2 more earthquakes here to the north. This is 1.7 tremor near Esther, Alaska. This is a 0.9 microquake, also near Minto, Alaska. Minto, Alaska, believe it or not. Let's go down here to south central Alaska here. Right here. Tadalek, Alaska. 1.2 tremor here. We go just a bit north here, east. This is near Netchin, Alaska here. Another 2.0 earthquake. Further north here, this is Silver Springs, Alaska, 1.2 tremor. Then we go out further here to the east. I'm going to start down here to south first. Start down here to south first, right here. This is a 1.3 tremor here, 53 miles southwest of McCarthy, Alaska. Out to the east of there. This is 0.8 microquake here. 51 miles south of McCarthy, Alaska. Interesting. Let's go further to the southeast here. Okay. Yakutak, Alaska. You see numerous earthquakes here. Yakutak, Alaska. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake here. This is a 2.6 earthquake. Over here to the northeast, this is a 2.0. 57 miles north of Yakutak, Alaska. Then we come to a swarm of earthquakes. Why? Because just weeks ago, we had a major earthquake here. Major earthquake. Again, every time we have a major earthquake, what happens? We get aftershocks for weeks, if not months, maybe even years. Maybe even years. This is a 2.2 earthquake. This is a 1.8 tremor here. This is a 1.8 tremor here. Just to the northeast, this is a 2.0 earthquake. This is a 1.8 tremor here. To the northwest, 2.0 earthquake here. Again, this region has got through having a major earthquake here just several weeks ago. These are all aftershocks of that earthquake. These aftershocks could continue months and even years after the earthquake. It's important. It's very important. Now, we go further south here. This is still Alaska, southern Alaska. This is a 2.4 earthquake here. This is a 2.4 minor earthquake, 3.1 miles deep. 3.1 miles deep here. Go down here to south. Nothing here in British Columbia, Canada. Interesting. Nothing around Haida Gwaii. Nothing around Haida Gwaii Island here in British Columbia at all. Nothing down here in Vancouver. Nothing over here in Vancouver, British Columbia here. We'll only have a couple earthquakes that USGS is telling us about in Washington. Washington. Over here. This is a 3.0 small quake near Cathcart, Washington. Near Cathcart, Washington, guys. I'm zooming in. I want to show you where Cathcart, Washington is. There's Monroe. They say this is east-southeast of Cathcart. Guess what? I think USGS has instructions wrong again. Cathcart, Alaska. All right, Washington. Cathcart, Washington. USGS has instructions wrong one more time. One more time. 3.0 earthquake here and one other here, down here further south. Very interesting here. This earthquake is southwest of Mount Rainier. They say this is near Mineral, Washington. 0.8 microquake near Mineral, Washington. Guess what? This is down here southwest of Mount Rainier, and they're not showing any earthquakes here at Mount Rainier at all. There are all kinds of earthquakes, microquakes, minor earthquakes, and small 3.0, 3.9 earthquakes here at Mount Rainier today. USGS is not saying one word about them. Nothing. They're not saying anything here about Mount St. Helens or Mount Adams. Look out. The news is there are earthquakes here as well. There always are. USGS still doesn't talk about it. They're not talking about earthquakes anywhere in Oregon, Mount Hood here, or any other volcanoes here. Not one word. Not one word. We know there are earthquakes here all over Oregon and Washington. They're still not talking. We go in here to old California, or what my wife Carol says, Cali. Cali. Interesting here. Northeastern Cali. This is a 2.1 earthquake here. 2.1 earthquake here. 2 miles southeast of Johnsonville, California. Okay, I'm just going to talk about one more earthquake here in Northern California in just a second. We're going to go down to New Zealand in just a minute because they had what they said was a 3.2 earthquake. Now they've increased it to a 4.3 earthquake in New Zealand. We want to show it. We want to show it. Over here in Western California here, near Redway. This is on Mendocino Fault. Mendocino Fault connects with what? The San Andreas, the Gorda Escarpment here, and also the Cascadia subduction zone. The Cascadia subduction zone, where it goes north all the way up to Haida Gwaii, Vancouver, British Columbia. Or not Vancouver, Haida Gwaii, British Columbia. Yeah, Mendocino Fault here. 9 miles northeast of Redway, California. Just briefly, let's go back down here to New Zealand. New Zealand. This is north of New Zealand here. I was concerned that this was actually in New Zealand because that's the information I just got. This is north of New Zealand proper, off the island. Nobody lives out here. Nobody lives out here. I think we talked about this before. This is not the earthquake I was thinking it was. They're not even showing it here yet. Let me show you that earthquake just a second on my other device. USGS all the time doesn't show all the earthquakes. Rarely do they ever do it. This earthquake is still north of New Zealand. The earthquake I'm about to show you is north of New Zealand here. Right here. This was a 3.2 earthquake that they have now upgraded to a 4.3. From a 3.2 to a 4.3. Go figure. Go figure. Okay? Guys, what's wrong with USGS? Why are they not showing the earthquakes, number one? Number two, why are they being dishonest with everybody? That's over a full magnitude upgrade. That's over a full magnitude upgrade. Okay? Insane. Over on the North Island, you can see earthquakes. USGS didn't show us. On the South Island, the same thing. We have actually two earthquakes down here on the North Island, on the north part of the South Island. Sorry for the discrepancy here. The north side of the South Island. Okay, this is a 2.7 earthquake there. Further to the west, another earthquake here. This is a 2.5. 2.5 earthquake here. Again, USGS not showing any of these earthquakes at all. Nothing. Nothing. It's insane, guys. Insane. Now, I honestly thought there were more earthquakes than that. Let's go back to California now. I'm going to show you all kinds of earthquakes here in California today. Just a minute. I want to go here just north of San Francisco Bay. Right here. North of San Francisco Bay. This is Napa, California. Napa, California. This is a 2.0 earthquake right here. Up north, you see a cluster of earthquakes there. That's normal. That is a geothermal area connected to that lake just above it, just north of there. That lake happens to be the Clear Lake volcano. The Clear Lake volcano. Those earthquakes there are remnants of what happens when you drill into the upper magma chambers of a volcano. When seismic energy crosses those drill points are man-made earthquake faults. You have earthquakes. Fracturing the rock in the man-made earthquake fault. Unreal. They have anywhere between 20 and 30 earthquakes there a day. 20, 30 earthquakes there a day. Now, I want to go further here to the north here. I mean, further south here. Over here, just off the coast of San Francisco Bay, on the San Andreas Fault. This is approximately 3 miles west of the San Francisco Zoo. This is the 1.6 tremor here. 1.6 tremor here west of the San Francisco Zoo. On the other side there, almost directly east, this is a 1.1 tremor here. Oakland, California. Oakland, California. On the Hayward Fault. On the Hayward Fault. This earthquake right next to it, also in Hayward, 1.1 tremor near San Leandro, California. Now, we have no earthquakes here to speak of in San Ramon, except USGS would not even show them normally. We may have some minor earthquakes and even tremors over here in San Ramon, but they're not showing them. Go further south here. This time on the Calaveras Fault. East of the Hayward, you have the Calaveras Fault here. Over here on the southern side of San Francisco Bay. This is a 2.6 earthquake here on the Calaveras Fault. We go almost southwest from here on the western side of the San Francisco Bay here. Guess what? More earthquakes. More earthquakes. Cursor here. I got it back. This is 1.0 tremor here near Portola, California, on the San Andreas Fault. Go further south here. South of Monterey Bay. Southwest of Monterey Bay. 1.7 tremor here near San Juan Bautista, California. Just west of the San Andreas. We'll go further south here. East of the San Andreas here, way east. This is a 2.2 earthquake here near Cantua, California. Right next to it to the east is a 2.0. 6 miles southwest of Cantua Creek, California. Down here on the San Andreas Fault. Guess what? We have an earthquake here in the earthquake capital of California, Parkfield, California. This is a 0.7 microquake in Parkfield, California. More earthquakes happen here near Parkfield, in and around Parkfield, California, than happen anywhere else in the world. Parkfield is the earthquake capital of the world, earthquake capital of California. We go down here further south. Again, down here on the southwestern side of the San Andreas Fault, on its own fault. 1.4 tremor here near Maricopa, California. 1.4 tremor here near Maricopa, California. Now, as the San Andreas Fault passes the Garlock Fault. On the Garlock Fault, we have 1.1 tremor here near Tehachapi, California, 8 miles southeast of Tehachapi. Interesting. I just love Tehachapi. I've been there many times, many times. Let's go out here to the east. What's going on out here to the east? Earthquakes. Earthquakes, guys. Searles Valley, north of Ridgecrest. North of Ridgecrest. This is the 2.4 earthquake here. This is a 0.9, 1.0 tremor here. 10 miles west of Searles Valley, California. This is just north of Ridgecrest, California here. Up here to the north. This near Little Lake, California. 0.6 microquake, 0.7 microquake, Little Lake, California. Out here to the northeast. Another 0.9, 1.0 tremor here. 14 miles east of Little Lake, California. Further north here. This is a 0.7 microquake. 9 miles northeast of Little Lake, California. Now we are talking about coals of volcanic field here. Coals of volcanic field here. You don't see any earthquakes here at all. There are tremors and microquakes here. We have some minor earthquakes here also in coals of volcanic field. But of course, USGS doesn't want to talk about it. Fascinating, but no cigar. Earthquakes there. Now I'm going to take you over to LA, Los Angeles, San Diego, and over here also into Southern California, which is the Imperial area, Imperial County, Southern California. All kinds of earthquakes here. Less than 1,000 earthquakes here every day in Southern California. That's very interesting. We began this program tonight with nearly 40 people watching. Now we have 19. Guess what? We are in Southern California, Los Angeles area. Port Hueneme here. This is a 1.4 tremor here. Notice all over Southern California here, Los Angeles. They are not showing any earthquakes at all. Nothing. Not a thing. We'll go out here to the east. Glendale, California. They're showing a 1.1 tremor here. Interesting. They're not showing anything in Long Beach. Over here in Santa Monica, I'm going to show a seismogram from Santa Monica. All kinds of tremors here in Santa Monica. Long Beach, earthquakes and tremors. Interesting. Over here in Los Angeles, Tremor City. North along Los Angeles, we have Moore Park. Pasadena, Hollywood, north there, Burbank. Guess what? Earthquakes all over this area here. Moore Park, Pardee. I'm going to show you earthquakes all over north of Los Angeles. And yes, USGS doesn't show a thing. Not one thing. El Monte, Rosemead, Arcadia, Pasadena. I'm going to show you a seismogram from Pasadena from JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. There are earthquakes in Los Angeles that they're not showing at all. They should be. They should be. There are earthquakes all over this area. All over this area. Torrance, Redondo Beach, Hawthorne, Anaheim, earthquakes. Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm in Anaheim. USGS is not even showing those earthquakes here at all. That's pretty sad. They're not showing any earthquakes here in Orange County. Nothing. Nothing. To go out to San Bernardino County. They're showing one earthquake here. A 0.6 microquake in Fontana. That should be very interesting to you guys. I'm going to show you a seismogram here in Fontana that's going to blow your mind. All kinds of tremors and minor earthquakes here in Fontana, but no small earthquakes here in Fontana today. But I think they were still here. My birds in Fontana said they felt shaking here in Fontana today, which means there are some small earthquakes here in Fontana that USGS and Caltech are not telling us about. Not telling us about. Orange County, earthquakes. Go down here to south. Beaumont, California, on the San Andreas Fault. 1.8 tremor here. Interesting. But again, the main agency of the world is not telling us what's going on here. Further to the south, Idlewild, California, San Bernardino County, 1.0 tremor here. Interesting. Anza Gap, part of the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park, 0.5 microquake. This is northeast San Diego County. 0.6 here. We drop down here to the south. This is just northeast of Lake Henshaw, Escondido. Northeast of Escondido. This is a 1.2 tremor here. 1.2 tremor here. It's just east of Lake Henshaw here. East of Lake Henshaw. Interesting. Further out here to the east, Julian. Just over a year ago, we had a 5.0 large earthquake here in Julian, actually a 5.1 large earthquake here in Julian. This is a 0.6 microquake. Interesting. See quite a few earthquakes here. This is southeastern Borrego Springs, northeastern San Diego County. 1.3 tremor here. 1.0 tremor here. This is a 1.0 tremor here. This is 0.6 microquake. This is 1.1 tremor here in Borrego Springs, northeast San Diego County. Then we drop down here into Imperial County, Southern California again. Ocotillo Wells. Ocotillo Wells is showing us 3 quakes here. 2.6 minor earthquake, 1.7 tremor, and a 1.1 tremor here. Ocotillo Wells, Imperial County, California. Interesting. Let me show you some things about Imperial County. Over here. This is what they call the Sultan City. Sultan City right here. Sultan City is nothing but a ghost town now. Back in the late 40s, early 1950s, this was a thriving community. Very thriving community. Now, why am I talking about it? Because once upon a time, there were 10 to 12,000 people living here. Now it's a ghost town. Over here on the northeast shore of Salton Sea. Salton Sea used to be a body of water that was very clean. People water skied here. People played in it. Now the Salton Sea has become very polluted over the years. Agriculture waste. They've had chemicals added to the soil here in the Imperial Valley. The chemicals have seeped into the Salton Sea, and the Salton Sea has become very polluted. I'm told that if you put your body here in the Salton Sea, you'll get burns, chemical burns. Over here on the northeast shore of Salton Sea here, this is called North Shore of Salton Sea right here. North Shore of Salton Sea. I'm going to show you tremors here. Tremors here at North Shore of Salton Sea. Okay, that's also on the San Andreas Fault. On the San Andreas Fault. Further to the south, down here, we come to a place called Bombay Beach. I'm going to show you a seismogram here of 10 earthquakes. 10 small from 3.0 on up to 4.0 earthquakes here at Bombay Beach in the Imperial County on the San Andreas Fault. Is here in Bombay Beach is where the San Andreas Fault proceeds to go underneath the Salton Sea here. It goes underneath the water here. The San Andreas Fault comes out underneath the water here near Calipatria, California here. Near Calipatria, California here. I'm going to show you a seismogram here of at least 100 earthquakes here today at Calipatria. Over 100 earthquakes here in Calipatria. And USGS is not showing one of them. Not one single earthquake here. Interesting to note. Interesting to note. Down here in Westmoreland, they used to have a seismogram here, a seismograph. The seismograph is the instrument. The seismogram is the printout. They used to have a seismograph here. It may still be reporting, but they're not showing it to the public. But here, just northeast of Westmoreland, this is a 1.4 tremor here. Westmoreland used to show us minor earthquakes and tons of tremors. They're showing us one tremor on the map, which is unusual because usually they don't show us anything here. Let's go down here to the south. Brawley, California. They rarely ever show us earthquakes here in Brawley. We'll go down here to the town of Imperial. They have a seismograph here in Imperial. But today they're not showing any earthquakes, tremors, or anything here in the town of Imperial. There are. Guaranteed there are. But again, the agency's not reporting anything happening here in the town of Imperial. Interesting to know. El Centro here to the south. El Centro is a town of about 25 to 30,000 people now. Mainly a Navy military town. A Navy military town. Guess what? We have earthquakes here. We have 9 3.0 large earthquakes here in El Centro today, and tons of minor earthquakes and tremors. Let me show you all that today as well. Incredible. Incredible. Now, for kicks and giggles, literally for kicks and giggles, just northwest of El Centro here, what do you see? What do you see out here? Naval Air Station El Centro. That's why El Centro is mainly a military Navy town. This is a major Navy air station here in El Centro. I've been here many times, teaching their military police how to diagram and handle traffic accidents so their traffic reports can be sent to insurance companies and to the state of California. Yeah. I taught those police officers how to do accident scenes and save people's lives here in the Naval Air Station El Centro area. Been here, done that. Okay. I'll leave this area and go over here to Holtville. Holtville. Right here. The town of Holtville. Holtville is host to what they call the Salton Sea Desert Research Station. Here at the Desert Research Station, they have a seismograph. I'm going to show you some tremors here and minor earthquakes at Holtville. But again, USGS wants us to believe nothing's happening. They want us to believe nothing's happening, but it is. Why am I showing you all this? Because when I talk about it, I want you to know where it's at. I want you to know what's going on. Okay? That's why I showed you all this. But again, USGS is only showing us one earthquake in the Imperial Valley, Westmoreland, California. That's wild. That's wild. Further here to the southwest here, Ocotillo, California. Over here in the southern portion of the Imperial Valley, out in the undeveloped desert. This is the 1.2 tremor here. Over here at the border, over at the US-Mexican border, at the border, this is a 1.2 tremor here at the border. Okay? That's what USGS wants us to believe here. Literally nothing's going on. Over here in San Diego County again, Pine Valley, southeast San Diego County in the mountainous areas of San Diego County. This is a 0.8 microquake. Further here to the north, to the northwest, this is where I used to live, Lakeside, California. San Diego County, East San Diego County. This is a 1.3 tremor here. I've shown you earthquakes here in Lakeside before. 1.3 tremor here in the mountains. These are actually small hills and river valleys. Out here is a lake here, San Vicente Reservoir in Lakeside. This earthquake is just south and west of the reservoir. Now, guys, there's businesses here. This is an industrial area here. This is an industrial area here along Highway 67. I know this area very well. Know it very well like the back of my hand. Down here to the south is Lakeside. Lakeside. I used to live there. Spent a lot of time here. But they're not showing us much of anything here. Now, I'm going to bring up the seismographs. I want you to see this. I want you to see exactly what's going on here. This is important. If it was not important, I would not even show it. I would not even show it here. Now, let's show you the earthquakes here. Over here in Borrego Springs, I want to talk about this first. This is where Borrego Springs is. Let me bring up the picture here. When I talk about Borrego Springs, northeast San Diego County, I'm talking about right here. Ocotillo, west side of the reservation here. It's also Indian reservation. Over here, Anza Borrego Springs. Anza Borrego Springs State Park. Earthquakes all over this area. Earthquakes all over this area. And one earthquake, the USGS did not show us on the map, is over at Calipatria down here to the southwest, or southeast here. Southeast of the Salton Sea in Calipatria. It's a 1.2 tremor here. And this just happens to be the USGS map. This just happens to be the USGS map. They're still not showing all the earthquakes. As I said, there's over 100 earthquakes here in the Calipatria area. They're not just but showing one. They're showing us one. Okay, let's go on here. Let's show you offshore Los Angeles. Channel Island. Channel Island here. Let me make this smaller so you can see it. In the past, in recent weeks, we've actually had small earthquakes here on Channel Island. In fact, during the past 2 months, we've had numerous 3.0 large earthquakes here on Channel Island, off the coast of Los Angeles. Here today, all you are seeing here are tremors. Tremors. Yes, we do have minor earthquakes here as well and small earthquakes. But all that we see here are tremors here on Channel Island. Let's go over to the desert, Bakersfield, California. Look at this. Here in Bakersfield, we see a larger bunch of earthquakes. Okay, earthquakes here have got progressively larger here. No, they are not large earthquakes. These are actually tremors and minor earthquakes. Tremors and minor earthquakes here in Bakersfield. Okay, all we had before were just tiny tremors. Now we're having some minor earthquakes, mostly 2.0 earthquakes only. 2.0 earthquakes and minor tremors here. Bakersfield, California. Let's go over to Barstow. Here in Barstow, we usually don't show Barstow, but guess what happened today? We had a 2.5 earthquake here in Barstow, California today, earlier this morning. Okay? About 6:55 a.m. this morning. 2.5 earthquake. Before the 2.5 earthquake, we had tremors, as you can see. And after that, more tremors for almost 45 seconds. 2.5 earthquake. Before and after that, you see tremors here. Some of them long duration tremors lasting minutes, several minutes, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 minutes. Long duration tremor activity here, Barstow, California. Okay. Besides that, we go down south to Cabazon, actually out to closer to San Bernardino County, Cabazon, California. Again, we're talking long duration tremor activity here. Long duration tremor activity building up here at 5 a.m. this morning, or after 5 a.m. this morning. We have long duration tremor activity building up to 2.0 earthquakes here. Then going back down to tremors after that. Okay. At approximately 5:05 a.m. this morning, 2.0 earthquake. Before and after that, it's all tremor activity. Long duration tremor activity here in Cabazon on the San Andreas Fault. San Andreas Fault. Let's go out to Lancaster, northeast of Los Angeles. Lancaster. Look at this, guys. This is another representation of what USGS does. and Caltech does. They turn off their seismograms. They turn off their seismograms from the night before. They don't want to be responsible for showing any earthquakes before they get to work. In this case, they turned the seismogram on about 7:45, it looks like, this morning. 7:45 this morning. It's all over the place. This proves that they just turn it on. The seismologist is still trying to center the stylus on the paper. This is not paper, this is a digital copy. But the stylus is all over the place. What happened after that? All we had here at the airport in Lancaster are tremors, tremor activity. Sometimes we see minor earthquakes here as well, 2.0, 2.9. All we have here are minor tremors, 1.0, 1.2 tremors here. Lancaster, Fox Airport. Now, I want to go over to Hemet, California. Orange County, Hemet, California. San Jacinto campus. This is the college campus in Hemet, California, on the San Jacinto Fault. Here, all you see are tremor activity here. In the past years, we've had tremors and minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. But lately, all we've had here are tremors here at San Jacinto campus in Hemet, California. Okay? Gets better. Gets better. Let's go out to Ranch Mirage out in the desert, again on the San Andreas Fault. Look at this. Tremor activity out here in Ranch Mirage. Here we've had minor earthquakes here before as well. But look at all of the long duration tremor activity happening. Now, before 4, or actually after 4 a.m. this morning, which is the top black line, you see microquakes and tremors. Microquakes are less than tremors. Yes, you see on some of these lines, you see 1.0, 1.1 tremors here. We just barely see a wiggle. Those are microquakes. Ranch Mirage, California, out in the desert. San Andreas Fault. Victorville, where my friend Isaiah's granny lives. Victorville. Guess what? Usually here in Victorville, we see minor tremors. Today we have some minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes. Over here, 7:54, almost 7:55 this morning. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Minor earthquake here. Early this morning. Yes, sensitive people may have felt this earthquake. Very sensitive people. But minor earthquakes are not felt by most people. What you see here is also tremor activity. Lots of tremors. That's normal here on the San Andreas Fault. Victorville is on the San Andreas Fault out here in the desert. Okay? Always something. Now, I want to show you a earthquake that happened here in Goldstone, California. Goldstone, California. Here in Goldstone, we have a military base, an Air Force base. On the Air Force base, guess what we have? A parabolic antenna, a satellite dish. Here at Goldstone Air Force Base. Okay? Actually, this is Fort Irwin. This is an Army base. The Goldstone is operated by Air Force people. This is a Goldstone antenna, monitoring spacecraft up in the atmosphere, monitoring spacecraft circling the Earth and out into deep space. NASA GPO owns and operates the station with the Air Force. This is in Goldstone, California, where we had an earthquake. I want to show you this. I think it's important. Let me show you where Goldstone, California, what happened here in Goldstone, California today. Oh, please don't do this to me. They did it. Dadgummit. Hold on a second. I'm not going to let this continue. The cotton pickers kept my database from capturing the seismograph. I'm going to get it for you. Give me just a second. I'll get it for you. I hate it when they keep me from showing you earthquakes. That just bugs the living crap out of me. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I've got it now. Thank you for waiting. Now, it's interesting. I'm showing you California earthquakes. Yes, we have a lot of EMA family members who live in California. Yet the number of people watching dropped down to 19 just a minute ago, just seconds ago. Unreal. Unreal. This is that earthquake that happened here in Goldstone, California today. Again, 6:56 a.m. this morning. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here in Goldstone. Interesting. But it didn't stop there. At 8:22 a.m. this morning. 8:22 a.m. this morning on this red line. This is another 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. You don't see the bottom of it because they screwed it up. But anytime we have an earthquake sequence like this, that happens. You also see a tremor out here after that. They have tremors here all the time. Here in Goldstone, we had 2.6, 2.7 earthquakes here. Today. It happens. It happens. Now, let's keep going here. I want to take you over to Los Angeles now. Let's go take a look at Los Angeles. This is downtown LA. Okay? The Emergency Operations Center in the basement of the City County building, downtown Los Angeles, has a seismograph. Here we are seeing a bunch of tremors here. Usually they don't even show us this. They hardly show us any kind of tremors at all. But today we're seeing 2.3, 2.4 tremors here at the downtown City County building. In the past days and weeks, we've had some 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, even 3.0 earthquakes here in downtown Los Angeles. But you'll never see it on the map. You'll never see it on the map because they don't want anybody to know about it. All kinds of seismic activity here in Los Angeles, all over the area. I'm going to show you all that activity tonight. Okay? That was Los Angeles. Let's go north there to the Baldwin Hills. Good old Baldwin Hills. This is the oil and gas pumping region of Los Angeles. This used to be hilly area here. They bulldozed the hills down to flat ground. They knocked down the trees, bulldozed the hills down to flat ground. They have about 60 pumps and jacks all over the hills here, pumping oil and gas, depleting the reservoir down beneath the LA area. You've seen earthquakes in San Fernando Valley. Why is that happening? Because, guys, they have pumped the oil and gas out from underneath Los Angeles, which is in itself causing human-induced earthquakes. Human-induced earthquakes. But again, here in the Baldwin Hills, the largest activity was early this morning. 6:54, 6:55 this morning. 2.2, 2.4 tremors here. That's the largest. All the rest of this is just 1.1 tremors here all day long. That doesn't happen. That does not naturally happen. But again, this is what they want to tell us. Insane. Insane. Now, guys, I want to go over northeast of Chino, California. Look at this. In recent weeks and months, we've had minor earthquakes here. Here in Chino, California, all we had here were tremors. Now, guys, again, I think this is a mistake. I don't think it was something that they didn't want to do. I think the microquakes and the minor earthquakes and tremors that are here, they're not showing any minor earthquakes at all. But there are minor earthquakes here. I have friends that live here. They tell me all the time there's seismic activity here. But again, the seismograms are not showing it at all. Okay? Now, I want to go over here now and show you north of Los Angeles to a place called Del Amo, California. Look at this. Here in Del Amo, all we are showing you is good-sized tremors. Good-sized tremors. Anywhere from 1.2 to 1.3, all the way up to 1.4, 1.5 tremors here by the end of the day today, at the bottom of the seismogram. I pulled this seismogram right at 4 o'clock when I should have been on the air already. The largest seismic activity here we have is 1.4, 1.5 tremors here. Del Amo, north of Los Angeles City. North of Los Angeles City. However, there's more. Let's go up to Moore Park. Moore Park. Just like last week. Just exactly like last week. Yes, we are seeing some tremors here. But now you're seeing some minor earthquakes. Yes, we're seeing some 3.0 earthquakes here as well. We're seeing some 3.0 earthquakes here as well. After 8, let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 8:19 this morning, 2.5, 2.6 earthquake on the red line there. On the blue line beneath it, 8:32 a.m. this morning, 2.5, 2.6 earthquake again. Interesting. After 10:15 on the left-hand side, on the red line, we go over here to the right. Now we are at 10:40 a.m. this morning. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. 10:40 a.m. this morning. At 10:49 on the far right on the red line. This is the first 3.0 earthquake today. Our first 3.0 earthquake. And on the blue line beneath it over on the left-hand side, continuation of seismic activity after that, going all the way down to tremor activity. Then, at almost 11:41 a.m. this morning, 11:41 a.m. this morning, another 3.0 earthquake, just north of Los Angeles, just north of Los Angeles, Moore Park, California. Then, let me see here just a second. Okay, at 11:51 a.m. this morning, 2.6, 2.7 earthquake on the green line. The green line near the bottom. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Then, at 12:42 p.m. this afternoon, another 3.0 earthquake again. We had 4 3.0 earthquakes here in Moore Park today. This has happened before. Small earthquakes here in Moore Park. We see a lot more minor earthquakes usually. But here we see 4 small 3.0 earthquakes here in Moore Park, California, just north of LA City, just north of Los Angeles City. Let's keep going here. Aishudu del Amo. Let's go over to Ellis, also north of Los Angeles. Ellis usually has minor earthquakes all over the place. Here we're seeing just nothing but tremors. 1.2, 1.3 tremors at most. It's incredible. Again, I think they're not showing us everything that's going on here. They can't possibly be showing us exactly what's going on here. They don't do that. They never do that. Now I'm going to go over here to Pardee, California, also north of Los Angeles. Pardee. Look here. Here we're seeing tremor activity here. We're seeing some microquakes and small tremors here. 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 tremors here in Pardee, California. Pardee, California usually has minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. They haven't been showing this kind of activity like I'm talking about for maybe a month or so now. I believe they're hiding the activity. My honest opinion, they're hiding the activity. Let's keep going here. Let's see. Let's go over to Eastern LA area, over to Fontana. Remember we told you about what they were telling us was just one tremor over in Fontana? Look at Fontana today. Just wasn't one tremor. Look at all the activity here. We are having a ton of tremor activity here. Usually here in Fontana, we have also minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. We've had upwards of 3 and 4 3.0 earthquakes here in Fontana, California today. Every day, until recently. Now, yes, we're showing a lot of tremor activity, long duration tremor activity at that. This is on the San Jacinto Fault. The San Jacinto Fault. Just west of the San Andreas, literally just west of San Andreas. Fontana. Interesting. Interesting. Let's go south over to the coast of Los Angeles. Laguna Niguel. Look at this. These are even less, these are all tremor activity. All this is tremor activity, even some microquakes here. But this is the least amount of seismic activity we've seen here in Laguna Niguel. Least amount. What's going on? Again, I don't think they want to be honest with us and tell us what's going on here. There's usually a lot more activity here. Lots of activity. Now, when I was over in Fontana, I should have showed you what was happening in Mira Loma and Loma Linda. This is Mira Loma, Loma Linda seismic right here. Again, all you've seen are tremors for the most part. For the most part. However, after 12 noon, 12:05 this afternoon on the bottom black line here, or the third to the bottom black line here on the left-hand side. Actually, second to the bottom black line, I'm sorry, second to the bottom black line. 12:05 this afternoon. I think we had a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake in Marijuana Lowland area. Okay? This has happened before, a lot before. They're hardly showing any activity at all except for tremors. That's very unfortunate. Now, I want to go north to the coastline, North LA area, region. Now, I'm going to what they call Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey area. This is even less activity than we've ever seen at Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey. Yes, we've seen some tremors here at Playa del Rey before. A lot more than this. Usually we have continuous 1.1 to 1.3 tremors here all day long. Now, after 8:50 this morning, about 8:55, all we have here is a 1.2, 1.3 tremor here. That's the biggest. That's the biggest. But like I said, I think they've got this thing turned down. They have the seismograph turned down. Now the number of people will drop down to 17 people watch this program. That's very unfortunate. I have not gotten into the beat of this program. Folks haven't even seen all the earthquakes here in Southern California. Now 19 people watching it. People keep dropping off. Like I said, I've shown you over by Los Angeles. Let's go northeast to Pardee, or not Pardee. Let's go to Pasadena, California. Pasadena. Usually here at Pasadena, the JPL, they show us nothing going on. They show us nothing going on. But today, we have 4 tremors, 4 tiny tremors. The largest tremor was after 6:56 a.m. this morning. 1.3 tremor here in Pasadena, California. There's a lot more going on there in Pasadena. Lots more. They just don't want to be honest with us what's going on here. Also north of Los Angeles, a town called Rinaldi, California. Rinaldi, California. Look what's happening here. Almost constant tremor activity here in Rinaldi. Here in Rinaldi in the past, we've had minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9. Again, I think they're hiding the data here. They're hiding the data. Besides that, we have a place called Rio Hondo here. Why show you Rio Hondo? Look at this. This is also north of Los Angeles. Here we usually have lots and lots of minor earthquakes as well, 2.0, 2.9. The largest tremor activity here is after 11:20 this morning on the red line here on the center left, center bottom left. 1.2, 1.3 tremor here. That's really sad when they don't want to show us what's going on. In the past, guys, for those of you that are here, you know that I've shown you a lot of activity here in the LA area. This is not normal. This is not normal at all. I want to go to the northwest coast of Santa Monica, California, northwest of Los Angeles. Santa Monica. This is Santa Monica Field, which is a municipal airport in Santa Monica. Again, after about 6:54 a.m. this morning, all we've seen here are tremors. Tremors, tiny tremors here. Usually here in Santa Monica, we have tons and tons of tremors. Most of this is all minor microquakes. Just tiny microquakes. Incredible what they're not trying to show us, or trying not to show us, excuse me. Now I want to get into the meat of this thing. Okay? I want to show what's happening here. Let's go over to, what do I want to show you next? Let's go to Long Beach. I showed you Long Beach on the map. On the map, they didn't show anything going on. Well, guess what? These are all tremors. Not a single minor earthquake at all. Usually here in Long Beach, we have nothing but minor earthquakes. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, and 2.9 minor earthquakes here in Long Beach. They have cut this down to nothing but tremors. That's almost impossible. That's almost impossible. This is so wrong. As long as I've been showing you earthquakes here in the Los Angeles area, Long Beach has always had minor earthquakes, top to bottom, side to side. Now all we've seen are tremors here in Long Beach. Let's go over to Anaheim. Let's go down here to Anaheim. Where'd it go? Right here. This is Anaheim, California. Yes, we've had some tremors here in Anaheim before. Yes, we do see some minor earthquakes here, some 2.0 to 2.6 earthquakes here. 2.0, 2.6 minor earthquakes here. Then, look over here on the far left-hand side at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. this morning. 10 a.m. this morning after Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm opened up. 3.5 earthquake here this morning. 3.5 earthquake here this morning after 10 a.m. this morning. 3.5 earthquake here this morning. We've seen that happen before. Yes, usually we see some minor earthquakes all over the place. 2.0, 2.9. Yes, we've had some 3.0 earthquakes here before in Anaheim, California. When this kind of thing happens, Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland have to shut down the roller coasters and inspect the railways on the roller coasters to make sure they're still safe. They may have had to do this morning. This happened just after 10 a.m. this morning. Crazy. Crazy. Los Angeles, guys. Los Angeles. Now, before I take you down to the Imperial Valley, I want to take you over to the Mojave Desert. I want to take you over to the Mojave Desert. Newberry Springs, California. Newberry Springs, California. Route 66. Route 66 here in Newberry Springs, California. The Mojave Desert. Great place. Great place. What do you see here? Black rock all over the place. Black rock all over the place. Volcanic activity out here in the Mojave Desert. All kinds of volcanic activity all over the desert. Newberry Crater here in California. Not just in Oregon, but Newberry Crater here in California right here. Lava here. Lava here extruded from the volcano during an eruption thousands of years ago. Look at this. This is a broader view of the volcanic area. Again, lava extrusion all over the Mojave Desert out here. I visited here many times before. Many times before. I've been here on expeditions to pull rock here for not just my rock collection, but the University Rock Collection in San Diego that I went to. Geology expeditions out here. Why did I come out here? Why did I come out here today? Look at this. Newberry Springs, California. Mojave Desert. 6:55 a.m. this morning. This is a 2.9 3.0 here this morning. 2.9 3.0 earthquake here this morning at Newberry Springs, California. Before that and after that, you see minor tremors and microquakes here. Minor tremors and microquakes. But a 3.0 here in Newberry Springs, California. That's one reason I want to show you Goldstone. Goldstone. Goldstone here had a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake here. The Mojave Desert. Briefly, let's go down to the Imperial County. Let's go down to Bombay Beach on the east side of the Salton Sea. The San Andreas Fault, guys. The San Andreas Fault. Appear after 5 o'clock this morning. You see, tremor activity lasts about a minute and a half. Then all of a sudden it gets to be over a 3.0 earthquake. They cut the bottom and the top of this seismic activity off. Right, this as it is. This is a 3.0 earthquake. That means this was probably closer to 3.5 earthquake. 3.5 earthquake. Then, after 10:30 this morning, between 10:30 and 10:35 this morning, tremor activity. Then look at the seismic activity here. This was an even larger earthquake than a 3.5. This is probably be a 4.0 moderate earthquake out here. Bombay Beach, California. This is normal for Bombay Beach. I've been at Bombay Beach before. I have had friends recently at Bombay Beach. The seismic activity hit there, and they could hardly stand up. They could hardly stand up because the earth was shaking. This is at least a 4.0 earthquake here at Bombay Beach. And guess what? It lasted 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. 4-minute long earthquake. Then after that, 6 a.m. comes out here on the black line below that. Over to the right. 6:06 a.m. on the black line. Again, that earthquake was going to be a 3.0 earthquake. And again, you can just see through the blue earthquake above it. This was a 3.0 earthquake as well. The bottom and top of that seismic sequence was cut off. This is at least a 3.0, 3.2 earthquake here. At least. At least. Now, it's hard to tell what happened after 6:30 on the blue line here. Hard to tell. But again, we had a big earthquake here. A big earthquake, probably a 4.0 earthquake here. Then we dropped down to 7:14 this morning on the right-hand side. Black line. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake at 7:14 this morning. On the next line, it continues. The minor earthquake continues and it becomes a 3.0 earthquake by 8:02. Just after 8:02, we have a 3.0 earthquake here. Look at all the other earthquakes here. Just the only two exceptions, actually just one exception here. The earthquake after 11:21 a.m. this morning on the red line, center bottom here. That's a 2.5, 2.7 earthquake, lasting about 1.5 minutes. Then it becomes a tremor after that. All the other 4 earthquakes here are 3.0 earthquakes. 3.0 earthquakes lasting 1 to 3 minutes. 1 to 3 minutes here. This is extensive earthquake activity on the San Andreas Fault at Bombay Beach. Then we go south into the Imperial County into Calipatria, California. Look at this. As I said before when we were looking at the map, there are over 100 earthquakes here today. The seismic signals started after 3 p.m., after 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon. 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Tremors and minor earthquakes. Tremors and minor earthquakes. Now, I want to pay some specific attention to the red earthquake in red here on the left-hand side after 3:30 this morning, or 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Red earthquake at 3:30 yesterday afternoon on the left-hand side. That would be a normal 2.5 earthquake, normally, lasting about 10 to 20 seconds. But again, they cut the top and the bottom of this earthquake sequence off. This is probably a 3.0 earthquake here at Calipatria. We've had 3.0 earthquakes here at Calipatria before. The red lines on this seismogram are caused by the computer. The red lines are computer generated to get the seismologist's attention, saying, hey, pay attention to this one. That's why they have red lines here. But up and down this entire seismogram, you see earthquakes. Some of them larger than they appear to be. Because again, the agency cut off the bottom and top of the sequences. Now look at this happening last night. After 7 p.m. After 7 p.m. on the blue line here on the left-hand side. We're over at 7:03. 2.6 earthquake at 7:03 last night. Then after that, hardly any seismic activity all night. Hardly any seismic activity all night. Yes, we see some 2.0s, some 2.4s, 2.5s during the nighttime. Large earthquake sequence happened after 2:44 a.m. this morning on the right-hand side. 2:44 a.m. this morning on the right-hand side. 2.7 earthquake here on the right-hand side on the red earthquake. Red line earthquake, it's actually blue here with the red foreground. Then another tremor after that. That tremor was after 8:03 this morning. What happens here? Then all of a sudden the seismologists come back to work. They turn up the seismograph. We show more earthquakes. Didn't used to be like that. Up until a year and a half ago, the seismograph kept going all night long. As I said before, the Calipatria seismogram has documented up to 150 earthquakes here a day. Because they turn off at night, they only show a handful of tremors and minor earthquakes. But here this afternoon, you see here at least 75 to 100 earthquakes right here. 75 to 100 earthquakes right here. This afternoon today. Again, look at the thicker earthquakes here. Look at the thicker earthquake sequences here. I'm looking at the bottom center here on the red line. That would be about 11:35, 11:36 this morning. It appears to be a 2.6 earthquake. But again, they cut off the top and the bottom of this sequence. That means this probably was a 3.0 earthquake. There are several of these in this seismograph. Okay, this is a USGS seismograph, Calpatriot, California. But again, they don't want to be honest with us at all. They don't want to see exactly what's going on here. Calpatriot of California, usually, like I said, has at least 100 to 100 earthquakes here a day, every day. But are they showing them on the USGS map? Heavens no. Not one. Not one earthquake. I showed you the map earlier. That's Calpatriot. Let's continue this here. Okay? North Shore, Salton Sea. North Shore, Salton Sea. I showed you the town before. These are ongoing long duration tremors here on the San Andreas Fault. I've shown you Bombay Beach, I've shown you Calpatriot. Guess what? There's more. There is a lot more. Okay? Let's go down to the town of Imperial. I told you before that the town of Imperial has some tremors. They have minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. And recently, within the past few weeks, we've had 3.0 earthquakes here in the town of Imperial. What I believe they've done is turn down the seismograph here. They turn down the seismograph. They don't show much of anything here at all. Nothing. Microquakes and tiny tremors is it. Nothing more. I believe this is very much a false information. False, fraudulent information here. Yes, Caltech and USGS are responsible for these seismographs here. Caltech Institute of Technology and USGS. Now, guys, I am the only person that shows these to the public. So they might blame me. Maybe that's why they're not showing what's going on. But that's fine. Let them blame me. But I'm going to be honest with the public. We have our own EMA family members living here in El Centro. Let me show you the seismogram in El Centro, right here. Up until recently, we had upwards of 23.0 earthquakes here in El Centro. Last week, that count went to 9. 9 3.0 earthquakes here. Let's count them here. Let's count them here. Up after, see, this would be 6:44 this morning. That's one 3.0 earthquake. Then after 7:02 this morning, another 3.0 earthquake. Yes, we see tremors and minor earthquakes after that. The next 3.0 earthquake is down here after 10:43 a.m. this morning on the red line on the right-hand side. 3.0 earthquake after that. Then on the green line after that, another 3.0 earthquake. At 11 a.m. on the left-hand side, another 3.0 earthquake. Then we drop over to 12:13 a.m. 12:13 a.m. was the next 3.0 earthquake. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 3.0 earthquakes here today. 7 of them, when usually we have at least 9 to 20. This is El Centro. People here in El Centro felt these earthquakes, every one of them. Our friend Juanito lives here in El Centro with his family. He's told me before when he's been here in the chat that he and his family felt every one of these earthquakes, as everyone else has as well. Some of them have been even larger, but USGS won't show them to us. El Centro is having earthquakes every day. Sometimes it's minor tremors, minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9, that usually are not felt. Tremors and minor microquakes are not felt. Microquakes and tremors are not felt, but sometimes the larger minor earthquakes, 2.8, 2.9, might be felt by very sensitive people. 3.0 and larger can be felt by almost everybody. They're happening here in the town of El Centro, California. Now, I have one more seismic to show you in Holtville, California. Holtville, California. Let me bring that up for you right now. Okay, this is over in southeastern Imperial County. I showed you Holtville on the map before I came up here and showed you the seismographs. I wanted you to know where these cities were. Holtville is a town of maybe 6,000 to 10,000 people. Here we have normally tremors and minor earthquakes. Here today, all we are seeing are tremors. Nothing more than the tremors here in Holtville, unfortunately. Again, I think they have cleaned the seismograms up. They don't want to be honest with us at all. At all. They never are honest with us as of late. They never have been. They've held that information out. Now, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I didn't mean to talk like this forever. I have 21 people watch this program. I appreciate you all being here with me today. Again, if you ever see anyone that could possibly be related to the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case, or if you have any information that would lead us to the captors of Nancy Guthrie, we encourage you to tell us always. Call the FBI. Call the FBI, guys. Call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Or 800-225-5324, or the Pima County Sheriff's Office non-emergency number, 520-351-4900. Please do that. We're going to keep showing you these numbers for as long as it takes to get Nancy Guthrie back. We appreciate each and every one of you for being with us tonight. God bless you. We love each and every one of you. We really do. Now, in closing, I've always tried to show you devotionals. We talk about doom and gloom all the time. I don't want to scare anybody. It's not for being scared at all. Just the truth. Today I'm going to the Epistle of John, first chapter starting with the 7th verse. But if ye walk in the light, as he is in the light, we're talking about Jesus Christ here. We have fellowship with one another. And the blood of Jesus Christ, his Son, cleanses us from sin, all sin. And if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. if we confess our sins, full and just, he's going to forgive our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his word is not in us. As I said last night, we are coming into the Easter season. From now until April 3rd, we're going to talk more about the life and mission of Jesus Christ. We're going to talk about his death and resurrection. I ask the Lord to bless each and every one of you. I ask God to be with you this day and always. We love each one of you, each and every one of you and your families. Please spread the knowledge of this channel far and wide. Please pass this information on to everyone you know, your family members, extended family, the people you work with, your neighbors and friends, and the people you work with and associate with on social media. Share far and wide. If you want to help contribute to this program, help to support this program, go to the PayPal locations just below this video today. 2 PayPal locations scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Go there and give us a donation. We'd greatly appreciate it. Our email address, if you want any place to send us comments and questions or ideas what you want to see in this program, send them to rltnspdema, rltnspdema@gmail.com. Our mailing address, postal address, 504 Bethel Road, Box 401, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. May God bless and keep you. May God bless you until we come again, until we meet again. Have a good night, everybody. We love you very much. Take care. You see each other on the flip side tomorrow after 4 p.m. tomorrow evening. God bless you. See you later. Take care.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard, So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright.